Hey guys, it's Keck back here with another video, and in today's video, it's more of a serious video. I know I haven't posted recently, but no need to discuss that in this video. Let's just hop into what this video is about. So recently, a post was made on Instagram about a Jambassador known as Asteralium. Asteralium is was, I should say, a ex-Jambassador for Alamo Jam. They were a large part of the Alamo Jam archives and the owner of the Alamo Jam subreddit, so they had quite a lot of influence around the community behind the scenes of things, I would say. They also moderated a ton of other Discord servers for other people like Wisteria Moon, so they were like known around the community, especially amongst high profile people as well. And obviously not to mention that they were a Jambassador as well, which is a pretty prestigious role bestowed on very few players on this game nowadays, which in itself holds a lot of influence to it. So that's why when people saw this post here from zombnuy, hopefully I'm saying your name right, by the way, apologies if I'm not, about Asteralium and their relationship with her, it was a pretty big shock to, I would say, like a lot of people. I kind of just want to go over this here and just spread awareness about it. I know I'm a week late to posting this video, but one, I wasn't home, but two, also I didn't want to jump on it immediately, feel like some content vulture type of thing, because when these kind of posts come out about predators, I kind of want to let it sit for a bit before making my own video about it type of thing. But as the post of the part one here that is displaying on screen says, there is a big caution warning, big trigger warning. There is a lot of sensitive topics talked about here, like grooming, predatory behavior, that kind of thing. So if that's not your cup of tea, or if you find those things triggering, now might be your time to click off or watch at your own pace. Entirely up to you, but just make sure you are comfortable while watching. And again, I'll leave a full link in the description to both zombnuy posts so you can read them fully here. But in the first post, zombnuy details how Asteralium treated them, how she was essentially forcing them into doing a lot of things, including getting into a relationship with them, and then also forcing sexual situations with them while they were underage. And Asteralium knew all of this as well, as the admission on screen as well. You can see they were very well aware of their age, felt weird about it, but still wanted to date anyway. Going as far as saying to keep it a secret rather than just not doing any of that. Speaking more about their relationship as well, because I do want to keep all of it, kind of in order here. They did actually meet up in real life as well, where Asteralium met up with zombnuy here, and zombnuy very clearly set boundaries, which Asteralium did disregard immediately. Now, some might be watching saying, oh, it's only a hug, but if you set a clear boundary that you do not want to be touched, especially if you are touch sensitive like zombnuy is, this is just obviously a clear disregard for a person's boundaries whatsoever. But considering the other things Asteralium did, not too surprising that they did this. I'm just thankful that didn't even get further worse. Knowing Asteralium, I don't want to imagine what could have happened, and it's incredibly sickening to see that someone among our community was hiding all of this behind the scenes, essentially. To put it simply, Asteralium is a groomer, master manipulator, and a predator that does not care about people's well-beings or their boundaries except for their own. And they have proven this by their actions towards zombnuy here. And zombnuy isn't the only one. There's plenty of other people that can attest to Asteralium's behavior as well. I know some other people as well that have gone through something similar with Asteralium or similar behaviors. I'm not going to name names because it's not my story to share, but it's very clear that this is repeated behavior, which is even more alarming. And this isn't like something that was completely hidden. There was signs of this actually to the public. Matter of fact, I knew about some of this a couple years ago, specifically when zombnuy talks about Asteralium's history of misconduct against minors and them being banned from the Fer.al Discord server. Asteralium actually talked to me about this before a couple years ago. And when they talked to me about this, they took a whole different story to what zombnuy is saying here. They did not mention that they were having sexual behavior with a minor in game. They, I'm pretty sure, if my memory serves correctly, said some entirely different story. And I only imagine that they ran with this other story as well to other people, which is why zombnuy says that she often lied as to why she was outcasted from Fer.al as well as the AJ community Discord. Because I do remember hearing about these allegations and instantly banning her from the Fer.al Discord I ran at the time a couple years ago that had a few thousand members. servers, which she obviously did try to appeal quite immediately. And I only imagine she tried to manipulate people around her at the time as well to kind of reverse the damage that she did do when this happened. But as I said, there's also receipts with this. This was written to Kitson Dragon, which was the old community manager for Fer.al, who has unfortunately passed away. Somebody kind of theorized here that maybe it just didn't get past to HHQ of Asteralium's behavior on the game, and that's why that maybe there was not signs, or alarms raised when Asteralium was considered for Jambassador. But unfortunately, I have proof that this is just not true. Plenty of people at WildWorks probably knew about Asteralium's behavior. At least one or two people that still worked there, a couple years ago, definitely still know of Asteralium's behavior then, and probably could have prevented them from even becoming a Jambassador in the first place, let alone even coming back into the community. They tried to appeal these Fer.al and Discord bans multiple times, obviously didn't go through, but here on screen, this is a DM conversation between them and Kitson Dragon as well. Aster sent this to one of my old moderators at the time of my server to show what happened. But as Kitson Dragon says here as well, we have on record that your account was banned for making inappropriate comments and harassing other Discord users. So it wasn't just on Fer.al, this was on Discord as well with multiple people. I'm going to censor the name here that I mentioned because they're not really a part of this, or if, I don't know if they want to be a part of it, but I believe the report that was made against them was made by another person. This is a 3-person group chat here as well. This is another screenshot Aster sent with Snowy Claw in it, which, if you don't know, Snowy does work at WildWorks from what I know, and they definitely did work, or still work. I don't know if they still work, but they definitely did work at the time Asteralium was made Jambassador and was aware of these behaviors. As in this screenshot right here, Aster is at the top here explaining their behaviors and why they messed up. This was before they turned 18, but it was still something they shouldn't have done, where they were talking about all these things that they shouldn't have to people that didn't want to hear it. And as Snowy said here, just morally reprehensible, which I full agree, which kind of brings me to the question, why was Aster made a Jambassador even when this was all made aware? Now, I don't know if they kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt, like, oh, maybe she changed over the years, but even then, like, I would imagine though that behavior from years ago would be mentioned when considering them for a Jambassador candidate role. Now, the kind of last part I want to get into in Zombnuy's post as well is Asteralium's resignation. So kind of what led up to that point. Asteralium did post a resignation before this post was actually posted. I'll put it on screen right now if I can find it, or I'll put it on later when I'm talking about it more. Pretty much how it went was Zombnuy tried to report Aster's behavior to someone at HHQ or someone at the Club Geo's Discord server, which was owned by Wisteria Moon, which Aster was admin, I believe, which that server is now deleted, but we'll get more into that later on as well. They tried to report it to Bonkers Borzoi, which was also a Jambassador and currently is a Jambassador. Bonkers advised them to reach out to HHQ, and they really did not get too much of a response. But what was strange as well, Bonkers Borzoi did not pass this information on to the rest of the staff team and stayed silent about it instead. Which, this isn't really about Bonkers and more about Aster, but still, you can't stay silent on things like this. These are things that need to be taken seriously, especially when it's a kids game with kids in the community, in the Discord as well. It's absolutely unacceptable when things like this happen. But as you can see in this DM here, or this email I should say here, they pretty much told Zombnuy that you need to block them in game. That is what they told. There was no escalation to a proper moderator or anything. It was just a default, sorry you had a bad experience, block the player in game, which I kind of want to make a video later on talking about the moderation on this game, because it is so weird how, I'm not even going to use myself as an example because it's probably not the best example, but I've known people that have gotten permanently banned from this game for as little as inappropriate language, not even like to the extent you would think, like just evading chat filter type of thing. They will get permanently banned and eradicated from the game. But when it comes to a known predator that has been proven to be one, that is a part of your Jambassador program, they don't even pay attention to it. Not only was this sent to them on Instagram, but their support ticket team as well. Not either one of them escalated it to a higher department. And furthermore, after they were finally made aware about it, after someone on the Club Geo staff team from the Discord server paid attention to it, Aster was then banned from the Discord server by Asteria because she did own the server. But AJHQ told Aster to just step down from Jambassador for fairly complicated and unforeseen personal issues. That's it. AJHQ didn't address it. They didn't put out anything. They didn't state anything. They kind of just said, step down and we'll sweep this under the rug pretty much. I don't think I even need to state why ridiculous and obscene something like this is to do, because I'm sure someone at AJHQ is probably going to watch this. You guys need to take accountability for when stuff like this happens. You bring people like this on into your ambassador program, they are representing your game, meaning when they mess up like this, you need to hold them accountable and make a statement about it. I know it's not, something you want to do. Go out and say, yeah, we had a predator on our team. But the worst thing to do is recognize that predator and then just sweep it under the rug. But when people find out about you sweeping it under the rug, it's seeming like you are protecting this predator, because not only did they essentially protect Asteralium here, Asteralium isn't even banned on Animal Jam. They're still on Animal Jam. They didn't get banned. They received no punishment for this, essentially, other than removing them from the Jambassador role. If it hadn't been for this post here, if it hadn't been for zombnuy being brave enough to post about this, Asteralium would have literally gotten away with this because nobody else talked about it, which this is why these kind of posts are so important. And I want to outline the last slide of Booney's posts and commend them for their bravery of posting this. I know it's very difficult to speak out on something like this, especially as traumatic as it is, because I can only imagine. It's not an easy thing to do, and I'm sure they have heard this enough already, but they are incredibly brave for speaking out about this. And I really do hope that this prevents something like this happening again with Asteralium, because knowing them, they are probably not going to stay off the internet, and they're probably just going to bounce to another community or whatever. Well, hopefully it makes its rounds way to there, wherever they end up. I don't really care where they end up, but wherever they do, I just want people to be aware that this is who they are. This is who they truly are. And again, as well, HHQ did a horrible job at handling a known predator once again. Even though they had the gun on it this time, they were made aware before it even went out to the public, and they did nothing about it, which is really sad to see. But just before I do end it off here, I do want to give a huge props, as I said, to Booney for doing this and coming out about this. I encourage you all to show your support to them, to the victim. Their link is in the description as well. You want to share your support in the comments or on their Instagram, please do, because I do imagine it is a hard time as of right now. And just as a last note as well, even though I sound a little agitated over Asteralium here, do not go attack them or anything like that. It's not going to help with anything, and if anything, it might make things worse. So just leave it as is. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up here, and yeah, I'll catch you guys later.